For the first time in history, the Oscars have nominated an Iranian film for Best Documentary Feature. The film Cutting Through Rocks follows the story of the first woman elected in a small Iranian village to the town council. Cutting Through Rocks explores freedom and resilience, especially resonant given the ongoing military strikes in Iran. Here's a bit of the film's trailer.
Olmaz, cür gelmez bizim. Afekkellerimiz kadar canan kalkı devlet etmemiz diyor.
Diyorum bile. Nereye böyle ya? Hala bak bize 5 nefer.
Hocam bana zaten burada mehbub sehra şuruşu.
Cutting Through Rocks, one of the films nominated for Best Documentary Feature. The Oscars occur on March 15th, and joining us now and tonight are the directors of Cutting Through Rocks, Sarah Khaki and Mohammadreza Aini. Sarah, Mohammadreza, welcome to Inside the Issues. Congratulations on this film and this groundbreaking Oscar nomination. It's wonderful to have you here.
Hello, Amrit. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, Amrit.
We're so happy to have you and this incredibly powerful story. And Sarah, I'd like to begin with you. I mean, you both have shown us this side of Iran that people here in the United States and perhaps around the world seldom see. You cover this groundbreaker, as trailblazer. But Sarah, you've mentioned that there's something about Sarah, your subject in the film, that also reminded you somewhat of the people that you grew up around, the women that you grew up around. Just tell us then about Sarah and put her in context and how you found her.
Yes, so I was born and raised in Tehran, Iran, and I grew up witnessing so many women, tenacious individuals like Sarah Shahverdi, the lead character of our film, who have created so many spaces for women and girls around them and their communities. I have two of their examples would be my sisters, another would be my mom, another would be so many other women in my extended family. But I left Iran at a young age to the United States, and having lived equally between the two worlds, I can say some of the topics that are now explored in Cutting Through Rocks, mainly the gender injustice and body policing, are topics that are shared concerns worldwide. And with that in mind, I was interested in seeing how about those women who never left their communities, how are they creating boundaries for women and girls and pushing boundaries for women and girls. And so through extensive research, I came across Sarah Shahverdi, a woman who lives in the northwest of Iran. And by the time she was 37, she had accomplished so much in her life. She had been a midwife and delivered 400 kids in her village, and also the only female motorcycle rider in this region. And the story starts with her wanting to run for a council seat. And against all the odds, the kids she delivered are now 18-year-old first-time voters. So they actually, she was able to receive the votes and win the election against all the odds.
It's an amazing story. Mohammadreza, yeah, please continue, Mohammadreza. And as you go on, also just talk about how, as you have said, that the two of you together working as this male and female duo allowed you to have access to the subject, the spaces, and to create this film in a way that you wouldn't have been able to if you were operating on your own.
Yeah, it's right. I'm coming from the community, Azeri-speaking community, northwest of Iran. And as a male director that I've witnessed a lot of similar stories, it was not possible to go there and make an intimate film about women and girls. Yeah. So I needed someone like Sarah Khaki as a female director to get access to women of the community. So we entered to the village together, and we didn't expect that we are going to spend 8 years of our lives working on this film. It was 8 sessions of filming, and each time we stayed there for 3 months or 70 days or 50 days, because we wanted to experience the changes that Sarah Shahverdi, our main character, is offering to the village. And we knew that it's not an easy task to do. We knew that this is a very complicated, complex story of with so many layers, and we wanted to include all those layers in our story because it was really important, and we knew that this is urgent, timely, and timeless story.
As you're making this film over all these years, of course, we in the West were observing with horror the protests around the death of Masa Amini and this women life freedom movement, which seems so resonant to the film that you were making. I mean, just talk about experiencing that in that time as you're making this film and the ways in which this film sort of responds or at least illustrates some of the underlying conditions involved.
So what we witness in this movie is we go from the moment where our lead participant is the only female motorcycle rider in the region, all the way to the end where she is accompanied by many young girls who are riding motorcycle with her. And this was not an easy journey. It took obviously 8 years for us to be able to witness that change. Sarah Shahredi was also able to bring change in the lives of women as well by bringing co-owning land. She was able to share lands with their husbands. And so this was really remarkable and revolutionary given the context where she is coming from. She was able to create a lot of changes in this setting. And now riding a motorcycle for women is not a big deal in the northwest of Iran. And it's not really about motorcycle. It's about their ability to see their potentials and see what they can do for their future. And it was definitely an alchemy of all the events that were unfolding in the capital cities over the years that we were able to witness. The girls were able to stand up for their rights, and even their parents, the men in their communities were supporting their idea of not getting married at a young age and going to school. So the girls that we end up following at the very end of our film are the ones who are continuing their education, and they are in universities at this moment.
It's beautifully said, this idea, this alchemy of all these forces coming together, and Sarah Shahredi being sort of the avatar for this change in so many ways, and a catalyst. And we worry about her, we wonder about her, given what we're seeing in Iran right now with these military strikes. Have you heard from her? How is she?
Because of internet shutdown, it's really hard to connect with our friends and Iranians and Sarah Shahredi, but the only way that we can talk is through direct lines, and the only way is if they call us for a very short period of time, we can talk. They are healthy, I can say, but emotionally they are facing with so many different hurdles, feelings of fear, sadness, frustration, anger, and so many different things, and a little bit of hope. Our character is fighting in the film, cutting through rocks, to bring change and hope to the community of women, to her community, empower them. Our film is about leadership, about a leader who trying to empower others, not controlling them, not suppressing them, not putting a lot of limitations on them, but trying to free them and trying to give them space. And of course, you can imagine that how hard it is for someone like Sarah now being in this situation, unfair situation. This is for all Iranians now living inside the country, 90 million of Iranians, and many of Iranians outside of the country. Just look at what happened in last 2 months in Iran. A lot of pressures. It's not normal, for people to go through these kind of things, and Iranians are mourning every day for one different reason.
Yeah, and what represents a good outcome with what we're seeing? Is it possible to even answer that question given what we're seeing right now in Iran?
It's really difficult to have any comments at this moment as things are unfolding so rapidly, unfortunately. But what we can talk about right now is the tenacity, the perseverance, the leadership of somebody like Sarah Shahredi that we witnessed for so many years in that community. That in every community there are people like her. and they are growing thanks to people like her, because they can help each other, they can empower each other, and they can create change on a local level. And
Yes. Well,
and what's happening right now is that we are extremely concerned for the lives of the civilians
Yeah.
of our home country, because it's extremely unfair. Can you imagine, with the idea of some help, we are seeing that this is their lives are being extremely devastated and shattered, and that's really not fair.
It's nearly impossible for us to imagine these conditions that they're experiencing right now. Though I must say that your film helps us understand something about it. It shines a light. It shows us these sparks of light can hopefully light bigger fires and more awareness ultimately. And so we thank you for making the film Cutting Through Rocks. We thank you for being with us, Sarah Khaki and Mohammad Reza Aini. Congratulations again on your Oscar nomination. It's an honor to speak to you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The film is Cutting Through Rocks. You can find it in select theaters across the United States. The first Iranian film nominated for Best Documentary Feature. More coming up. Stay with us.